Hello everybody, today we're going to start our first little project with VexVR. This first project is called Basketball Drills, and it's a pretty simple, basic project. I want to go through the project with you real quick, and you guys are going to work to complete two levels. The first level I will show you um, so you can kind of try it out and make sure you're getting the same results with yours. And then the second one, I'm going to start you on just the first couple moves, level two. And this is one you're going to turn into Me Through Classroom. So let's look at the first level. Level one, program the VR robot to drive forward one grid square. Next, program the VR robot to drive in reverse to the beginning point. Continue this pattern for 2 grid squares, then 4 grid squares. Now, when we go to look at what our grid squares are, there's a little helpful hint down here. Each square on the grid map measures 200 millimeters by 200 millimeters. So we're going to have to get our robot to move one grid square. It's going to have to go 200 millimeters forwards and then 200 millimeters in reverse. And then we'll continue on with the other grid squares. Once we finish the first level, then we're going to go on to the second level. The second level is to program the VR robot to drive forward one grid square, stop, and return back one grid square to where the VR robot started without using the reverse block. The VR robot will need to turn around and drive back to the first position. Continue this pattern for 2 grid squares and then 4 grid squares. So basically, the robot's moving the same distance, but this time you have to get the robot to turn around and drive forward instead of backing up. So now that we understand that, let's go over to VexVR. And with this, we have our beginning screen right here. Now, when we look at this, one of the things we can do is we can just close this part out, just a little video. If you want to watch it, feel free. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to change the name of this project. To do that, we click on the project, and then down here, we're going to type our last name, then the project name. We'll just put basketball down though, and then we'll put L, capital L1 for level 1. And then we can rename that. That program's ready to go. Now, what we're also going to need before we can start is our playground. If we go up here to where it says playground, we can click on that. And then you'll see it brings up our grid map that we're going to be working with. You can also grab this and slide this up a little bit. And you see our little robot down here. Move it over a little bit too. And we have our start button here or here, and this is the reset button. So now we have our hat block. If you remember from the first homework assignment on this, all blocks that are going to be in order to work have to be attached to this when started block. We have our different blocks over here going down the side, and we have a large number of different blocks. All right, we're not going to use them all right away. We are going to work with those more in the future. We're going to try to start slow and work up. And our first block we're going to use is the drive block. So now I'm going to drag this over. I'm going to click it in place. And now you can see it says drive forward for 200 millimeters. So if I go over here and I hit play right now, the robot goes forward 200 millimeters. Now, the next thing we need to do is get the robot to go back 200 millimeters. So once again, we're going to drag another drive block and click it here. We can make some changes on this. One of the changes we're going to make, instead of forward, we're now going to click on reverse. Now if we go over here and we click, you're going to see the robot goes forward and then stops at the end. So that's the first step of level 1. Now we need to make it go 2 blocks up and back. So to do this, we're going to add another part to our program, another piece of the code, and we're going to add another drive block. Once again, we're going to go forward, but this time we want to go 2 grid squares ahead. So we're going to change this number to 400. And once again, we need to make it go in reverse 400 to get us back to the position. So we're going to grab another drive block, let it click in place. We're going to change it to reverse, and then 400 millimeters. Now, when we click on play, we're going to watch our robot. It's going to go forward and back. Then it's going to go forward to 2 and back. And it's completed its process so far. So the last part of level 1 is to go 4 blocks ahead. So we're going to repeat the process. Grab another drive command. This time we want to go 4 blocks. So 4 times 200 is 800. And then we need it to come back. So we're going to drag and drop. We're going to change this back 800. And then we're going to change it to reverse. Now, when we do this, the robot's going to go forward and back 200, 400, and now the 800 millimeters, and it's going to come back. And our program's complete. That's all we have to do for level 1. So now that we have that done, we're going to save that. So we're going to go to File, and we're going to go to Save to your device, and it saves in the download part. And now we've saved that in our drive. Now, let's go back to basketball drills again. Now we want to do the second level. And in level 2, we're going to program the VR robot to drive forward 1 grid square, stop, and return back 1 grid square to where the VR robot started without using the reverse block. The VR robot will need to turn around and drive back to the first position. Continue this pattern for 2 grid squares, then 4 grid squares. So now we're going to go back to File. We're going to get a new block project, and everything has been cleared off. And now we're going to start having our robot move by going forward 2 grid square, or 1 grid square. And now we can't just have it come back in reverse, so we're going to have to get it to turn. We're going to go over and we're going to choose Turn command and drag it over. And now we look at the degrees. The degrees are going to change how far it goes. If you remember, 90 degrees, I'll go up, turn at a 90-degree angle. That's not going to allow us to go all the way back to that position. So we're going to have to change it to 180 degrees. So now we have 180 degrees. We're going to play. It's going to go forward, and it's going to turn around, and then it will eventually come back, but you can see our robot's now facing 180 degrees. It's going the opposite direction. So now our robot would have to drive back 1 square, and then turn around 180 degrees again, then go 2 squares forward, and come back, turn around, come back, turn around again, go 4 squares forward, turn around again, come back, and turn around one final time to be in the same position it started in. And that's going to be level 2. Now, when you have the program complete for that, you can go over, once again, change the file name. And this is going to be your last name. Then basketball again. Then this time it's going to be L2 because this is level 2. We're going to click on rename, and then we're going to go to File, Save to your device. Now we need to turn this one in, and to do that, we're going to use the share feature. When we use the share feature, what that's going to do, it's going to make a PDF file for us. So we click on it, and here's our PDF file for our program. And if I click on this, it's just going to show me the series of blocks that you have in order so I can see if you've programmed this correctly. This PDF file you're going to turn in through Google Classroom with the assignment. Now, I can't show you that because my Google Classroom doesn't have those turn-in features with it because it's a teacher's classroom. Yours is going to be in the student. What you're going to have to do is go with this assignment, then where it says turn in, upload this file, level 2 file, and then turn that in, and I'll get that little picture to show up in my classroom when you turn it in. And then I'll look it over, and that'll be how you get your class credit for the week. Please have this done by the end of this week. So it'll be by Friday afternoon. Have it in by then. That's the due date. If you have any questions, please send me an email. Feel free to ask what you don't understand, but please don't write, I don't understand, and that's it, because then I don't know what you don't understand. Try your best to complete the project. If you don't understand it, come up with specific questions you don't understand and ask me the specific questions. That way I can actually help you to finish the project or move you along. I hope everyone has good luck with this. Have a great day. We'll see you in the next video.